not charitable. They don't bring things to your market so you can take them home. They don't. They are not interested in feeding you with your consumer choices, with your preferences, with you maximizing your happiness or utility. They are not for that. Of course, they want to make sure they have customers. They want to maintain customers. That's one of things they want to do. But the primary thing is that they don't make a loss. They cannot produce and sell you at a loss. They stop if the price that is being offered at the market is not good for them. But if the prices are good, they bring more goods into the system. Okay, that's what we read about determinants of supply, right? Isn't it? Suppliers, what motivates suppliers? Apart from price, there are other things that we talked about. Sometimes supplies can be limited by cost of production, by the size of the market. Sometimes government regulations can restrict supply. We talked about all those things that influence supply. But mind you, these guys are in business. Okay? So they work so hard in order to make some gains, in order to make some money. Now, in a perfect market, remember, what are the characteristics of a perfect market? A perfect market is where there are many buyers and many sellers. Nobody can set the prices. You can't say, okay, I want to make money, so I'll charge more. When you go to the market, you can't in a perfect market. There are many buyers and many sellers. Price is determined by the market. You as the supplier, you're a price taker. You take what the price is there. Fortunately, the perfect market also says there is free entry and free exit, which means that characteristic of a perfect market, free entry, free exit, it means if you are not happy with the price, you don't take your things there. Or if you are already in the market and the prices have started being bad, you can leave. So there's free entry and free exit. We are also told that one of the other condition is that there's a perfect free information. It means everybody knows where things are cheaper, everybody knows where things are expensive. So if you say, okay, I will charge more, your things will be more expensive than anybody else. And the people know there's free information. So nobody will go to you. Nobody will buy you until you are forced to reduce your price. They will go to those who have not raised the price. So you will also be forced to bring down your price. So those are some of the reason these characteristics have to be there is for a reason, so that nobody has power. So you can also not justify to say, my things are of higher quality, so I will charge more. One of the conditions of a perfect market is that you are all selling the same type of good. It's homogeneous. There's no difference. Ngati ndi nyemba basi. There's no nyemba which is more superior. Ngati ndi potato mbatatesi ni mbatatesi basi. There's no... Why are you laughing so much? Am I getting you? Ndalakwisa maybe chichewa changa choti nyemba mumachura mumatichani nu ine ndala pronunciation is oh you want me to speak English? Okay, I get you. Yeah, beans are beans, so they must be homogeneous. There's no beans which have higher quality than the other. Okay? If you are talking of sweet potatoes are sweet potatoes. There's no sweet potato which is of higher quality. Homogeneous, that's what we mean by homogeneous product. It's one of the conditions for a perfect market. So, if you think your beans are of higher quality, you can leave the market. This price is not good for my beans. You can leave. Okay? So that's what. So, if this is the case, if you are in a perfect market and you are a supplier, how will you make profit? Because we are told that you cannot set prices. You cannot say, oh, I will charge higher so that I can make money. I can make profit. You can't, you have no powers. So how do you make profit? How do you make more profit than anybody else? How would you? Sorry? Yeah, how do you survive? How do you make money? How do you continue producing and selling if you have no powers to set the price you want? And yet you are in business. This business has competition, perfect competition. You are all price takers. So how do you make profit? Because you are not producing for charity. These guys do not produce for charity. They have to survive. You're right. They need to make money. To survive is to make money, to continue being in the business. How do you do it if you are not allowed to charge a price which is good for your business? So, if the profit is, let's say, 10,000 kwacha per 20 liter of beans, 20 liter bucket. If the profit is 20,000 kwacha, and it should be the same for everybody. Only if, maybe before, let's define what we mean by profit. Profit is equal to total revenue minus total costs. That's the definition of profit. So, if we are to put in abbreviations, TR minus TC. That's the definition of profit. Take your total revenue minus your total cost. Okay? What is total revenue? What is TR? Total revenue is equal to the quantity of the number of buckets of beans quantity. Okay? Let's put it Q times the price, or the number of kgs of beans you have times price per kg. That will give you your total revenue. So in a year you have produced 100 bags of beans. What's the weight of those? What is the price per kg? When you multiply, you find your total revenue. Okay? And on this one, let's now apply the theory of perfect competition. P is price. There is P here. What have we said about price? That you have no control, right? You have no control. So what you have control on is Q. How much you can produce, right? So if you have no control there, how do you maximize your total revenue? Yeah. You can only manipulate this one. You can only manipulate Q in a perfect market because you have no control over prices. That's what, because there are many buyers and sellers. One of the conditions is many buyers and many sellers. So you have no control over the price. The only way you can have the highest revenue is you produce more, not charging more. You cannot increase P to make TR bigger. P is constant. You can manipulate Q. You can increase Q so that you can increase TR. Are we together? Okay? So, what is profit? Profit is TR minus TC. How can you make this figure bigger? How can you make this bigger? You can make your profit bigger by making this bigger, and this one stays the same, right? Or this one stays the same, this one goes down, right? The answer, if this one goes up and this one stays the same, the answer you will get will be bigger. If this one stays the same, but this one goes down, the answer you will get will also be bigger, right? So you have two options. Make this thing bigger, and this one stays small, or let this one increase with a bigger percentage than the increase in this. You will have an answer which is increasing. Are we together? No se mukumva? Tipange example. Let's say 10. Oh, my things are not working. So for example, we have 10 minus 4. Total revenue is 10. Total cost is 4. What's the answer? 6. I said you can increase this number, this answer, by increasing this, and this one stays the same. Okay? So if we now we have 12 minus 4, the answer will be 8, right? So we have increased our profit. We can also keep this one the same and reduce this one, right? So 10, let's have 10. again. So one option is to increase this one stays the same. The other option is this one stays the same, reduce this one. So all these things have taken no. Okay, it stays the same at 10, but total cost, you must reduce it to 2. What will you get? 8. So you can see that from this, we have 2 options. Either we increase this and this one stays the same. So we increase from 10 to 12. This one stays the same. We have more profit. Or this one stays the same. This one gets down. 10 minus 2 now is equal to 8. So these are the options. Now, TR, total revenue, we get it by multiplying quantity times price. If we are to increase from 10 to 12, it's not because we have increased the price, because we have no powers. So what have we done? We have probably just increased the Q, right? Now, here we have said total cost. Total cost, you remember what we said total cost is equal to? What did we say? You don't read. Zindu tinapanga is. You don't read. What is total cost? Total cost is equal to fixed cost, right? Plus variable cost. Fixed cost, do you control fixed cost? No, not in the short run. Variable cost, yes, you can control. So it means if you have to reduce your total cost from 4 to 2, it means you are playing around with your variable costs. Understood? So, with those in mind, in a perfect market, how would you make sure that your business makes the highest profit than others? Come on, takambagale tu hapa. Yankurani, I want you to talk about, to tell me. We have already provided the answers there. Sorry? Increase what? Yeah, you can increase production. Make sure you deal with sales volume. Make sure you have the highest number of customers. In a perfect market situation, you cannot increase your profit by charging more. You can only increase your profit by making sure you maximize sales. So when we are talking about sales, maximizing sales, it means you are maximizing production. produce more and more and more and sell more and more and more. That's one way. The other way is make sure you are the lowest cost producer. That's the second option you have. You must produce less at the cost less than anybody else. Then you will be making more money than others. Okay? We cannot talk about how do you do that. Meanwhile, let's look at some slides. I say, takwera ko pamwamba butapanga. Uli bino si unavale sketi yae. It's okay. Nanga kweli pamwamba butavala sketi sisi ngakaribu. Okay? So we want to, as a business person, you have to make sure that you stay in business, you survive. So you have to manage your business so it stays profitable. So, what is the meaning of profit? Look at the last one. The others are very theoretical, but they provide a background. But the greatest meaning which we have been discussing here is that the profit is a residual income, which is equal to the difference between the total revenue and total cost of production. These producers, they have to look at total costs and total revenue. Okay? How much revenue you have generated versus what your total costs were. If you are able to cover your total costs, there is some money left, there is some residual income, you are good to go. You can continue. Sorry. Now, what we have just said is an accounting kind of profit. This is what the accountant will do. There are differences between accountant's profit and the economist's profit. Remember, when we were talking about costs, we said costs are different for the accountant from costs for the economist. You remember? What did we say? We talked about opportunity costs, right? Can somebody tell me what opportunity costs are? Sorry? Sorry? Sacrifice. It's foregone. It's foregone benefits. In other words. So, for example, you have 100,000 kwacha. You can decide to buy a cell phone, or you can take that 100,000 kwacha, go to the lake with your girlfriend. If you decide to go to the lake with your girlfriend, spend that 100,000 there, you will not buy the cell phone. So, by deciding to enjoy with your girlfriend, you have foregone the enjoyment of having a cell phone. If you decided to buy a cell phone instead, you have foregone the benefit or the enjoyment or the satisfaction of taking your girlfriend to the lake. So whatever you do, there is an opportunity cost. What have you missed by doing what you are doing? You had an opportunity to do A and not B, but you have chosen to do B. It means you have the option number A, those benefits have been foregone. You have decided to put them away. So for example, if you have a building and you decide to occupy that building yourself, you have decided to say, I don't want somebody to rent my building. So by occupying that building yourself, you have foregone what you could have earned from renting it out. Okay? So the opportunity cost of you using that building, what it is costing you, it is not free. What is costing you is that money that you could have received. That's the cost to you. So that's what we mean by opportunity cost. Now the accountant doesn't look at that. The accountant looks at what have we paid as a company and what have we received. What is the difference? The difference there is what the accountant says is a profit. So if you are an accountant in a company which is using its own buildings, there will be no an item there which shows rent. He's not signing any check. He's not expending any monies on rent. So to him, the books are not showing any rent. There's no cost on rent. It doesn't come into the total cost. The economists will say, no, there's a cost here. How much could this building fetch if somebody else was renting it? So we should charge the company that money that it has missed. So that's the difference. So the profit for the accountant will usually be higher than the profit for the economist, because the accountant only uses actual costs, actual expenses, whereas the economist looks beyond. And therefore, you remember when we said explicit costs versus implicit costs. What did we say? Explicit versus implicit. Explicit are direct. So direct costs versus indirect costs. Direct costs are same as explicit costs. You are ready, sir? You are not giving, you are not even apologizing. So should I lock you out? Huh? And you were hiding behind. You also remember what we said about what factors of production earn? We said labor. When you use labor, that labor will earn wages, right? Land will earn rent. Capital, if you borrow money, it earns interest. And entrepreneurship, that knowledge of how to run a business will earn you profit. Why have you decided to make noise now, you ladies? Okay? So that idea of a profit is coming from the fact that when you have toiled, you have been producing or you have been doing business, at the end of the day, you should be paid. And there are various theories that can explain why profit should be there. What justifies the idea that somebody should be making money? Those of you who have different religions, for example, I think you have heard about Islamic banking, okay? Where they find making profit as immoral. It's not good. So, for example, you will find that they have loans where they don't charge any interest because it is considered immoral to do that. I think, I don't know. This is just from my head, eh? Because I don't know why people, you go to the bank, borrow money, but it is morally wrong for the bank to charge you interest on that money. So Islamic banking, they usually have zero interest on their loans. I think FDH is, if I remember, I think they are trying to establish that. I don't know, because the banks make money by charging interest, right? That's how they survive. Apart from bank service charges and the like, most of their money is by lending it out. They take the money from people who have no ideas, basically people who are I don't know what word we can use. And hope under they take their money and keep it at the bank because they have no idea of what business they can do. They are blank. So they go and keep money at bank. Okay? They have no business idea. Completely blank. And doesn't know what to do with that money. So they take it nkukasungisa ku bank. Munisungire ine nilibe ya business idea ili yose nisungireni. Okay? Somebody goes to bank gongo and says ine brilliant idea. Vili nipange business koma ndama ndilibe. A bank yakuti zuru kunali wina wake wopanda ma ideas. Anabweresa ndalama. Enko pita nazo kapangire business. That's what it is. So iwe wopanda ma ideas iwe akusungira ndalama and say okay, poti ndalama izizi fete zigwisa bwino ntchito tikupasaka 2% interest pachaka. Okay? And you go home smiling. You see, you don't have an idea, so for you get something, and then somebody comes tomorrow and gets that same money, and they would say, okay, use this money, we'll charge you 10%. So now the bank has made 8%, right? They are giving 2% to the person who has brought the money, and they will take that same money to give to these brilliant, intelligent guys and charge 10%. They have made a difference for many people. That's how they survive. And they make huge monies from it. That's why you always find banks are making huge profits. They are using money from people who have no ideas, lend it to people who have, support those who have ideas, and make money in the process. Islamic banking will not allow that. So I don't know how they make money. I haven't done any research to see how do these banks make money if they cannot do that. I need a pen ya bwino bwino uli nikulembere assignment question apo nikatenge mujeni pasipi nibwe.
We're talking how Islamic banks work. So, here is the second assignment. Mupanga poboso, mupokosera kuseri. Still existence good. Class rep, please copy this and post it on the group. Alright. For those who are not here. Agreed, the class president, right? Can you copy this and post it on the group? Everybody can see that on the group. If you are not added on the group, up to now, and you have not made any noise to me, what you should do, that guy there, are you an admin?
No, I'm not.
I'll make him an admin and go to him to add him. Now look, my nose is not very good. That guy corrected all the notes and is it? Yes, it is. That you corrected. Please share with your friends. Okay? By Sunday, I want to see that you have shared on the group. Okay, so let us try to go through this, and it will help you with your assignment, apart from whatever you'll be reading. All these concepts you can read from the notes that I have. You can get these right. This is the issue about the differences between the economic profit and the accountant's profit. Or accountant, same as business. Business profit is accountant's profit, and then you have the economist's profit. So business profits are an accounting concept, and it sells revenue to owners of the firm, making payments to contractors. The same is what we have said. This is a very long way of describing it. What the shorter way is that profits for the business is just basically total revenue minus total costs. Okay? And there is some description of what these costs are. And we say these costs are fixed costs plus variable costs.
And as you know, variable costs include things such as labor, things such as raw materials, and so on and so on and so on. Those are variable costs. You can decide whether to employ more people or to employ less people. Okay? If you employ less people, you produce less. If you employ more people, you produce more. Remember what we said about how variable costs behave and how fixed costs behave. This is coming from a discussion of the topics that we covered before. You remember, fixed costs do not care whether you are producing anything or not. Fixed costs are just a straight line. So you may have remember the way we say this is quantity, these are costs. Fixed costs are just like that. They don't care. And yet variable costs do. Okay? That's what we say. So these are fixed costs, these are variable costs. And we said what can be in here, variable costs, what can be in fixed costs. Fixed costs are things such as buildings, for example. These are fixed. If you have a building, if you have a factory, whether you are using it or not, the cost of that factory is there. Variable cost is now when you start producing. Okay? Remember what we said about total cost being equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. But you can have a situation where you are producing zero. If you are producing zero, your total cost will be equal to what? Fixed cost, variable cost will be zero. So if you are producing nothing, your total costs are actually just equal to your fixed costs. Remember, variable costs depend on the amount that you are producing. All those things that we did last time. Just go back and revise. So, business costs refers to explicit costs. Business costs do not look at indirect costs or implicit costs, as I said. Indirect costs or implicit costs include what we call opportunity costs. Those things the business does not include, meaning the accountant does not include. Those are economic costs. So, total costs, and total costs are explicit or direct costs. Remember those concepts that we did. We had a whole lot of discussion about these costs. Implicit costs, explicit costs, controllable costs, uncontrollable costs, sunk costs. There are so many that we cover. Do you remember? After the class, please go and read whatever we have covered in the class. Don't leave it until when exams are across. You will have forgotten what I said. You know, sometimes after this class you go and read, you will remember even the explanations that I'm giving you here. When you go through a book, you remember what the lecturer was saying. But if you leave this until a month later when you are about to write your exam, you will not, when you go to those books, you will not remember what I said. It will not help you to understand what you are reading. So every day after class, remember to go through what you have been taught that day. So most of these things are about course we've already covered. Economic profits are usually lower because we include non-actual costs. We include implicit costs. We include opportunity costs. That's why profits by an economist are always lower than business profits or profits by an accountant. The main reason is that the economists include costs which are not in the books of an accountant. There's no checklist written for it that you have paid for this, I have paid for this. They are not there. And yet the economists will come in and put them in there. So what the company may think is the profit, when the economist comes in, that profit might actually turn out to be a loss. So that's the difference between the business profit or accountant profit versus an economist profit. These implicit costs. So you can see what is in there. Pure profit is equal to accounting profit minus. So when we say pure profits, we are talking about the economist. You can see the economist will say, okay, what are the sales volume? Total revenue is what? Okay, it's so much. Okay, minus explicit, which these are actual. Explicit are actuals or direct. And then still continue, subtract even implicit as well. The accountant will not include this part. Will not include the implicit costs. I hope when you go through those slides you will understand. If you don't, let me know. But I've already explained. I just wanted to go through with you what the slides are saying. But what the slides are saying is what I've already talked about. Now, what you are getting there are just academic things, huh? Academic things which are there. Now, let's look at theories of profit. Explanations for profit. Why should there be profit? Some people say profit is a reward. You are being rewarded for working so hard. So that's the explanation. Explanation. When we say explanation, we are talking about a theory. That explanation has always to be correct. Now, tomorrow, in future, and last year. It has to be correct all the time. You can also